Hello, welcome. What is good, everyone? Tone here, and another day, another slice and dice session here. We are on a bit of a streak here, and we are continuing a session we started, or a run that we started last session. And let's see where we left off here. Let's take a look at our curses here. We have Osteoporosis. Tier 3 heroes get -2 max HP. Mortal. All heroes have their max health, shields, and pips limited to 7. We're hoping that that plays favorably with our Osteoporosis here. Not the unfavorable direction, which could be run ending. We'll find out. We have right blanks. Replace the rightmost sides with blank and armor. At the start of it, the first turn, shield 1 to all enemies. And here is our squad. It'd be nice to get a good yellow upgrade here. It's usually when I like to upgrade early, but it didn't happen here. Although the Bell fight is one where the Greys can really shine. Like Bard's pretty nice on this floor. The Fanatic, if you get some big burst blocking, can be pretty nice. So I could see us taking a Grey upgrade here. Before we pick our upgrade, or our promotion here, I'll do my usual reminder that if you guys would like to support this channel and my other work, you can do so over at patreon.com/tonehack. Feel free to give that a look. Without further ado, let's see what our options here for upgrading are. We have the Guardian and the Scrapper. The Guardian does have a cleave shield, which is okay with the Bell. I was gonna say how they have 2 blanks, but so does the Scrapper. The Scrapper gives us some good sides to bounce Copycat off of, which I like. More so than the Cleaves, I think. Bloodlust is like a really good one. Although Bloodlust doesn't synergize with armor, first turn armor as well, because it's harder to get big Bloodlust on the first turn. But in general, I think that's a pretty good one. I think Scrapper's pretty solid overall. I'm not feeling the Guardian. Engage isn't that great, outside of like the first turn usually. And otherwise I just get like 2 shield cleave. The Guardian isn't exciting me at all, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Scrapper here. They might have more health normally. Yeah, Scrapper has 8. Guardian has 8, so they're both losing a bit to Mortal there. I don't think it makes sense to give you the Copycat Dagger. We might go back to putting that on Spellblade. It does make you roll a little more reliably. We can copy some decent stuff from Spellblade and Alloy still. I'm just wondering how often we might want to try and get Bloodlust or Shield on other heroes. I guess Shield, not that much. It would be good if we had AoE shields, but we don't yet. I like most people's sides so much that I don't really want them rolling Copycat, usually. Like, or I want like other people copying their sides. You think there's gonna be a longer fight, then that could be pretty decent on the Fiend. Maybe that's a good play, actually. So they have something else to do other than pain themselves as this fight goes on. This fight could go 3 or 4 turns, probably. Okay, I think I kind of like that. Give the Fiend something else to do. Oof. This is a really nasty first turn. Well, you're not getting shields, so you probably don't keep that. Although we're probably not damaging the enemy much either. Can't believe how much we have to block here. I'll probably just take that to generate some mana here. I guess we look for poison though. Look for poison there. I guess that's 2 block to save someone. I think rolling that turn 1. We just open to self heals and stuff in the following turn. Look for poison here. For Bloodlust here? I mean, this is gonna only do 1 damage. You're not getting blocked. Yeah, maybe the Scrapper sucks. Well, no, because if this guy was getting hit by the Fanatic, which is kind of like a scenario I was thinking of, then like this would be like quite good. But yeah, you're not getting blocked otherwise, so I'll reroll the rest of these. I guess we'll look for Bloodlust. We got the poison. More mana is always good. Do I actually block you? I think we get poison on the bell. You're just gonna do 1 damage to them. I think this looks like a decent turn. I would have liked to put more damage in the Fanatic so we can kill them this turn. I think they're gonna be problematic. Jeez, what are these rolls? I guess these are actually okay-ish rolls. Fiend might be dying here. Put more poison on the bell? You're gonna have 9 health next turn. If I poison you, that poison would put you down to 8 per turn, and then you'd be dying at the end of next turn no matter what happens. You already kind of are, as long as I can do some damage to you. I probably can't kill the Fanatic this turn. You're taking 7 from Gong and Poison. So 2 damage to you between this turn and next turn, then you die at the end of next turn. Cleanse isn't doing anything. I guess Poison on the Fanatic is decent. So I don't think I'm doing 10 damage to you this turn. Well, shoot, we could power up this steel side to protect you from the bell, and then maybe get close to killing the Fanatic. But how much powering up? I could give it like +4 shield from burst here, and then maybe another 1 or 2 from this. So you're doing like 6 or 7 damage. That actually might be feasible. Getting Copycat Bloodlust would be kind of sick too. You might be able to save someone here, so we're gonna reroll this. Actually, we might not get mana to do that, but let's see what happens here. I think I'll keep this. I reroll this for mana or Copycat. Try to just get more shield, mana shield. I think any of these 3 sides are pretty good. Actually, the cleave is decent here too. I think you're going to keep that. The other consideration is Bloodlust. Becomes really good if we roll our Copycat sides. But that's far from guaranteed, so I'm just going to roll with this for now. This still kills you. We're rerolling both of these. Do I just want to sacrifice the Fiend? I guess pretty much anything you do is better than this. Except this mana saves the Scrapper while doing 2 damage as well. But I'm going to reroll this. I want to see if I can keep you alive while killing the Fanatic. Looking pretty slim, but what happens. And actually the alloy dies pretty regularly here. Spellblade completely whiffed. I guess we're kind of screwed actually. The most I can do is 8 damage to you. Yeah, I was looking for a high roll, but we just like completely like low rolled. That's like as good as we can do. So I guess we do try to keep the Scrapper alive, but I think I'm gonna do that with a... That means I should have... Well, you still generated 2 mana, so I guess you did alright. Use Balance. We can keep the Alloy alive. Well, you do that. Okay, yeah, so I do need the balance to keep you alive. You kill yourself. There's no point to doing more damage to you. Because we're actually not going to kill you fully. And then... Well, this targets the bell anyways. It's kind of like a wasted point of damage there. It's not wasted block, though. So I think the gong's gonna trigger before the bell dies, so you being at 2 health here is good. Having them start at reduced health ain't great. And actually, can we just kill you this turn? 7 damage. Two, three, 4. You roll mana damage, maybe? I think we want you to roll mana anyway, so I can try and keep the Spellblade alive. I think this shield looks good. I actually want defense from the Druid. Just keep everyone alive for this turn, and then let the Bell kill themselves. Seems more reliable than actually killing the Bell. Overkilling you doesn't do anything. Alright, well the Fiend died. This might be a turn... See, I want the Fiend to get like +3 pain here, which is going to be hard. Because I think we want to generate 4 mana. We definitely want to do burn. Whoops. I didn't mean to click that. We want to do burn balance this turn to kill the illusions, probably. What do we have here? Viscera, Chainmail. Chainmail is terrible because osteoporosis. Viscera is a little awkward with it as well. So this is damage equal to your health. It also deals that much damage to you. You basically always kill yourself to do like a good chunk of damage. But you need someone to like burst you. That feels decent on like the Druid, actually. So sometimes we end up doing like 4, 5, 6, 7 damage to something. I think this is good enough to not reroll. Although the Druid is often the one that'll be blocking, but we can do that with Burst or Alloy. They wouldn't often be blocking. Well, they do because they can block with their mana, so... This might be a little weak with Mortal. In the long run, so maybe Random would have been a decent pick there, but I'll roll with this. I'm cool with this. We might have needed to move the Copycat Dagger. Actually, no, it's probably good on Fiend. For now, while they're at low health still. Okay. Ooh, we're probably not killing that Imp. But we need to find mana somewhere. I can get Flesh on this, too. So I can do 7 damage, 7 damage. This isn't a good floor for it, though. Probably not a great Bloodlust floor. I think I'm blocking the Fiend, so you're not going to get armor, so I'll just take this. Actually, this is a great Bloodlust floor. We're going to kill an imp with that. We probably kill the imp that is attacking you. I just need 1 more mana. Which means I'm rerolling both of you. Copycat Cleave is kind of excellent here, though. No, I want the mana to kill all of the illusions, but Copycat Cleave, let me do like burn. Let's just like go hard for mana. Okay. And I still have this, which lets me. Ooh, this is actually going to be an excellent turn. Except that I think the Fiend dies when I play burn. No, because I play this first. Ah, no, it doesn't make sense to play that first. I guess it does because of the Fiend. If I played Balance second, then everyone else would have 1 more health. I guess these guys didn't lose health because of their shield anyways. So that kind of made sense. Now I get to do this and this, because this copycatted Bloodlust. And that ended up being a fantastic turn 1 for that floor. That was one of the scary floors with armor, so yeah, the balance burn combo paid off. I think this is lethal already. Good stuff. Bones, Grave, Snipers. This looks like another balance burn floor as well, which is nice. We get to upgrade our Grey finally, and who do we get? I like both of these guys. Quite a bit, actually. I guess one downside of the Monk is they can't block the Fiend's burst. Or pain sides. They also can't power up the Scrapper. But they have repel sides, which are pretty good on floors like this, probably. I might be able to hit, like, multiple things, including backlines. They have Cleanse, which can be pretty good. The Warden has some... Actually, Copycat on the... Or, yeah, the Copycat dagger on the Warden looks pretty strong, actually. So they have a good chance of either doing damage or shield, if I want. I think with the Fiend and, like, Viscera here, that Warden just makes more sense. I feel like the Monk is a bit better... And with the Scrapper, with their damage. Because the Monk doesn't help with any of that stuff, because they redirect damage to them and then block themselves. I think I normally like the Monk more, but I feel like Warden just makes sense here. I think their max health is being reduced as well. I think them and the Monks probably both are, and I think this does make more sense here. Now that this isn't the Alloy, which was a good thing to bounce Copycat off of. None of the things that the Monk had were copycatable. So this starts to look like a pretty good setup for this. Let's go and roll with it. Okay. This was a good start. I want to try to hit one of your other mana sides as well. We're not going to poison. I'm probably going to look for mana on you. I really want to get like a big balance, burn, kill a bones or two kind of thing going on. And this is a really good start to that. Probably just take this 2 damage. I think it's going to be pretty nice. That looks good. I really want you to roll mana. I guess as long as I don't roll an X here, then that's pretty good. Oh. Okay. That's really too bad, isn't it? Maybe I can get huge mana off the Spellblade. Even though it's not the way... No, because I can't play Imbue. I'd have to do like... Which kind of defeats the purpose So the Fiend's just kind of screwed, because I don't see a line where we kill these snipers. Not with their shields. They would have been dead without the shields. I really don't like how this Fiend's dying every turn. All things considered, that seemed okay. Zombie, do I have a source of 4 damage? A Scrapper and a Druid can do that. Okay, we're probably pretty good for 4 damage here. And Imbue gets us a little closer if we get right on the cusp, which is still these two. Banshee has some nasty freaking sides, and they do 1 damage to all of us when we cast a spell once per turn. Luckily this isn't a burn floor. Otherwise, that's doubly bad for us with the Banshee. So what kind of items we get? We have the Alembic, replace the middle side with add mana gain and pain to the target sides this turn. Interesting. Playing that on, like, either of these sides is pretty good. But that takes up a dice that someone else would be using to do something else useful. So, but both of these have pain already. It could be pretty good on the Bloodlust here, even though that would add pain to that side. I could give that to the Warden and see that being decent. So when I roll that, I might get some value out of it. Basically means I can get like maybe 2-3 pips of mana, sometimes like 7 mana when I roll this. And it'll often hurt whoever's taking it, and it makes you so you hardly block at all, the Warden. We also have the Idol. Okay, so this is terrible because max HP doesn't do anything. Mortal is really showing up in our item picks, but yeah, I can't get our hit points higher than they are now, so this does nothing. And 3 random tier 2s. Honestly, probably isn't terrible because a lot of tier 2s are like side replacers. We can kind of shore up some of these blanks, I think. But most of them aren't that great either. So I think it's the Alembic. Buckler's good. Relic's pretty decent. Longbow probably doesn't do much for us. So Blessed Water is okay, or is good. It fills up a blank. Slice is good after we get rid of, after we move on from Druid. This might help with some side replacing, but it's not a very direct way. I like Garnet. Citrine Ring is pretty good with the our dagger, or flickering blade there, the copycat dagger. We get 3 of them. We probably get like 1 decent item out of that. I think Alembic. Not amazing, but I think we'll get some value out of it throughout the run. It helps us generate mana, which the squad seems to like doing. It helps us hit balance and burn even more. I guess playing Alembic on the Warden, and they can like block themselves to gain like 4 mana. Basically turns these into mana sides, 4, 3, and 2, which is pretty strong. I don't know who else would carry it unless I... Actually... Is that better? Let the Druid play it on the Warden. The Warden has more sides to generate more mana. Between these two. Compared to playing on the Druid, you pretty much just want to play on that middle side. I actually think that's better. The downside is that if we're not playing it on the Warden, then they're playing it on the Fiend instead of like generating mana here, which we would rather have them doing. The advantage of having this on the Warden is that the Warden ends up generating mana while the Druid is also generating mana. I feel like this feels a bit better though. I guess Viscera on the Warden is kind of awkward in general because they're usually the one that's going to block while you're playing this. Also, I kind of like this copycat dagger being on someone different than wherever Viscera is. So we can copy the flesh. That's a really interesting question. There's like really significant pros and cons to each. I can see that going on to like the Spellblade too. As long as we don't want the poison side. I'm usually just looking for them to generate some mana. So now you can play this on Warden, Druid, Fiend, Scrapper. I actually think this is a really good place to put that. They're like the only person we don't want to play Alembic on. Unless they're copycatting like Scrapper or something. I think I'm rolling with this. They rolled the Alembic. Like, I'll probably keep that and end up playing it on something. I guess the Fiend isn't. This isn't a good battle for them to use their pain sides, is it? I think with Alembic that the Warden rerolls. Maybe this isn't a good turn for Alembic because you're doing 2 damage. Well, I want to block you, so you can do 4 damage to the zombie. Which means I need ideally 4 to burst, 4 mana. But then I'm not playing Alembic on you because we need to play the mana first. Oh, I guess I could if the mana comes from Fiend and Druid or something. And we play the we try to play Alembic on like one of the Warden's big sides here. Well, heck, I guess I can just play it on this one, though, and they can just do more damage to the zombie in the meantime, or the Banshee in the meantime. They're also weakened next turn, but Alembic doesn't care about that, which is kind of cool about this situation. We can just try to play Alembic again. I think we keep this to try and kill the zombie. I think you really want to roll mana. So do you. Okay, we can already kill the zombie. I think you just keep this. We do something like this. Oh, that was actually a little awkward with this whale. And this probably doesn't kill. It's actually really awkward. We do it like this. That almost didn't work out because of the whale effect on the Banshee. Because they removed one of our shield when we played Burst to block. Do you have any good copycatting to go here? Not really. Like, I think if you roll Steel, you'd just rather have this be a shield. We're going for Alembic on here, although copycatting the poison or the mana gain is okay. You can actually roll mana now, which we're going to go for. Although, how close am I going to be to lethal? 2, 3, 4. Need to find 5 more damage on these dice. We'll figure it out. This pairs with Alembic or Scrapper. If they roll those, at the very least it saves the Druid and gives us another turn to kill the Banshee. What a... Guess I should have kept that on the Fiend, huh? Oh well. We're not killing the Banshee this turn, are we? Oop. You can get close, but not close enough, huh? Is there a line I'm missing where they do die? Doesn't feel like it. I think I just have to burst block the Druid for 1 here. We should be able to kill the Banshee next turn before we lose anyone. I think we're already there. Ooh, wait. We're not because of Whale. If I clicked Burst on you, it would end the fight and we'd have 2 people dead, which would be terrible. So we almost have lethal, but I actually need to find some way to keep some people alive here. Okay, I think this gets us there. Cool. Alright, Rotten boss fight. I think we do alright here. We have a lot of AoE and stuff for the bones, a lot of ways to take advantage of like bloodlust. I feel okay about this. Let's see what our first tier 3 is going to be. The Valkyrie seems really solid with Mortal because of these, you give them Undying instead of trying to block for them. You can also revive. If people are barely dying, you can play Rescue on them. They might be dying a lot, so this could be big. I feel like Valkyrie is really good here. It might be too early to take Venom anyways. They're not affected by Mortal here. This will get affected by Mortal, which is actually a pretty big downside here. Because this ends up being like a pretty big boss killer for the high hit point bosses. You get Poison on, and this does 10, 20. This does like a lot of damage. But it will only do 7 max here. I don't like the idea of having the Valkyrie be my first tier 3. But with the Venom not being that exciting to me at this stage of the game, and the Valkyrie being pretty good in this mode in general, I think they are the best pick here, potentially. There's some like Viscera shield stuff that could happen, I think. It's a little hard to do with Viscera. There is a Lembic rescue shield stuff that could work. Actually, is that infinite? Playing this on rescue on the Valkyrie when they're at a stage where they're only dying by 1, because this shields them for 2. Actually, I don't think that counts as a rescue. It might. We will definitely want to test that. But I think it checks the state at the beginning and the end of the turn, and the state actually doesn't change because of this. That probably doesn't count as an infinite. To keep just playing that over and over because it kills you, saves you, and gives you mana. It's still pretty good with it because you might be able to get a lot of rescues in some instances. I think I like the Valkyrie here. We do like poison on the Spellblade. I think I'll give you that. Although this lets me copycat Rescue and Death Wish if I put on someone else, which is pretty good. Especially in this fight where a rescue side... It's not as good as Rampage, getting Rampage with like a bunch of bones can be strong. And you can kind of do that with Rescue if you prevent the bones from killing someone, but it's a little harder to pull off. I think I leave that on you. I kind of like that there. Is this fight too long to mess with this? I don't think so with the Alembic. I don't think this poison does enough for me to want that over the Alembic. I think we probably use our Imbue to get a big mana gain on these bones, rather than try to get an extra stack of poison on them. I like this. I think this Alembic is pretty strong. It's a little more awkward without the Warden. It was really good for a fight on the Warden, actually, and now it's not quite as good. I think I liked it better on the Warden sides than the Valkyries, even though this will pop off sometimes. This might be awkward with the Pain, but I'm gonna roll with it. This does kind of want to be a short fight, although sometimes this one drags on. I guess this flesh side becomes worthless now that you're dropping to 1 hit point. Turn 1 and we can't really do anything about it. I'm going to focus on killing all these bones though, and a lot of these dice are excellent for that. Ooh, this is a huge side actually. This will do 6 damage, which almost makes me wonder if I want to fish for Copycat on the Spellblade. Because I'm going to play Burn, Balance. There's going to be 5 to damage enemies here. I'm going to Burn, Balance. Trying to see if I can set up the +4 mana by killing a bones at 1 hit point with this. This has got to go into the Rotten, I think. So we Burn, Balance. That's 4 mana, which we only have 1 left out of this. And all these guys are at 3. So I would need the Valkyrie to do 2 damage to something, which they don't really do. I guess I don't really have the ability to do that. So maybe the site isn't that important to begin with. This does let me attack a bones to gain 1 more mana, and do 1 more damage to the bones, and I can burst that bones to kill that bones. Alembic would be pretty great here. I could play Balance twice. I think I re-rolled this because of the value of Copycat and Alembic, and the fact that I'm not getting a good hit on this terminal with Imbue. Okay, that's definitely good. And that actually lets me hit this. Flat out. Because this looks something like... I don't know why I'm attacking that one, actually. We should attack one that matters a bit more. This one, I guess. So Imbue that. So this is +4 mana because of Stake. Play Burn. You play Balance. I think I actually don't play that on the Rotten. I think we just want to try and kill all of the bones here. Try balance one more time, it doesn't really do anything. But we can do this, which feels like a fantastic first turn. And then we just need to do as much to the Rotten as we can. Yeah, that side's not doing much anymore. Although, that lets me play Flesh on the Valkyrie? I think you just take 2 damage here. How does this turn work? I'd have to block you before you use this, but then the Valkyrie could copycat it. But then we would want to block the Valkyrie too. I just don't have that much block. I have to block with mana, which these two do, but then the Fiend dies, so you kind of have to block for the Fiend as well. This is kind of interesting though, just for example's sake. I think we just sacrificed the Druid in that scenario. They probably survive better on the following floor with the Druid at half health rather than the Fiend. Is this something that we actually do? Well, because now I can't protect the Fiend, though. The Fiend dies no matter what. I don't have enough mana to save them. Yeah, I don't think we play towards that, because we're not even getting attacked this turn. I think we kill the Rotten next turn, and we just have an imp to deal with. We probably just keep this as a 2 damage Bloodlust. Probably keep this. Maybe I just keep all these mana gains. Feels like a weird turn. Maybe I'm not doing that much damage here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with like the burst. Probably 7, 8 here. I think it's the best I got though. Not that exciting, but do I give this mana or +1 damage? Probably mana, right? I like to heal the Druid, but balance doesn't really do anything here. We just heal them by 1. Undying is interesting. It lets me play Burn pretty safely this turn. I think I'd much rather have you roll either of your damage sides though, so we're just going to reroll that. I think we try to close out this turn. One problem is, if I don't kill this imp, I actually need to heal the Druid. Like, blocking for them doesn't do anything. And playing balance once doesn't save them either. So this is almost pretty good for just hoping that the Druid doesn't die. And then we try to do 5 damage to the Rotten, and then just kill the imp next turn. I think that feels pretty decent. You can do a lot better, Druid. Actually, if you roll your cleanse side, then we can reroll the Undying, I think. She did. Or would I rather have you roll for the chance of 2 damage, which is more likely than you hitting damage? It just makes next turn equally annoying on you. I guess I take 1 damage here. This is awkward as heck. Like, how do I even kill this turn? I just need to do 5 damage and I'm having trouble finding that. I guess if the Fiend literally rolls anything but an X, we get it. I have to save this even though it's a terrible side here, but I don't want them to roll X's. Yeah, I'm gonna reroll that. Wow, what a turn. Okay. Can I manage to kill this imp? I think we got there. Alright. Man, we are getting all of the illusion floors, which are pretty nasty with armor plus, although we have like the squad that can actually deal with them, so it's not that bad, I guess. Illusions, double snakes, troll. I think we handle this floor alright if we can kill like a snake and all the illusions turn 1, which honestly isn't asking too much from the squad most of the time. I think I'm keeping stuff where they are here. We get to pick a new item. Leaden handle, add heavy and +1 to all damage sides. Or the poodle, add dog to the middle column, ×2 if you have the same HP as the target. That could be pretty strong because all of our heroes are going to have the same hit points. It's not good here, but I think it's really good on a lot of the tier 3 reds. We can double boost on you. You get double mana gain, double block on these. These double mana gain sides are where it really would shine. +1 to all damage. Heavy sides. That's like a decent replacement for the stake on the Spellblade. I don't like having heavy on this floor in general, because we don't want to attack this troll the whole time. I think we wouldn't use that this turn for sure. I can take a random tier 6, which I actually think isn't a terrible idea. There are a lot of good tier 6s actually. Same HP as the target. I don't think there are a lot of enemies that have 7 hit points either. So this kind of becomes good for getting like double on heal mana gen sides. Double on some repel sides. And that's mostly still only on turn 1 still. Although, since everyone's capped at 7, it's more likely that you have the same health as someone else. I'm going random here. This feels like it's mostly for like bosses, I feel like, having heavy, which, to be fair, bosses are pretty important floors, but I'm gonna go ahead and, or it's good for like killing trolls and like these floors that have like kind of just tanky guys. I'm gonna go with the random. Spinning Scythe. Replace the middle side with 1 damage to all heroes and monsters and rampage. This is actually kind of good. It's another AoE. It's basically burn. I don't like it with how low mortal keeps all of our sides here. I don't think stake works with this because it doesn't have a target. This is really good on floors like this one. Also works pretty good with this rescue side in some cases, I think. I like that on the druid more than the viscera right now. That loses us a good target for Alembic, but that wasn't really happening anyways. I want to do this swap. So sad. Phylactery is utterly wasted. This gives Rampage to the copycat side, which is pretty cool because we can imbue that as well. And then we have a 2 damage Rampage, which is really strong on... It's actually incredibly strong on a floor like this. Alright, we're gonna run like this. I'm gonna call this here, though, before we get into this floor. And then we will see where we can go from here. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a really fun run so far. We're really running into mortal problems right now. Oh, I just realized Valkyrie has 7 health. And I think this ordering was important. I think they'd have 5 if we took mortal before osteoporosis. But yeah, osteoporosis is essentially doing nothing because of mortal. So I think this was a really good pick because that means this is basically 7-point curse for us. And that feels pretty good. Even though it's still a tough curse. So this was a really good combo. We've proved with our first tier 3 that it works. So that's awesome. But yeah, we're going to leave this here for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. As a reminder, check out the links in the description below. You can find my Slice and Dice dice rolling probabilities reference table, which are a really handy reference. You can find the Patreon if you want to support me in my work here and elsewhere. And you can find the Discord community and other links. But till next time, take it easy everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then.